Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for remaining with us. I'm still talking to Mr. Victor Ntawuga. We are talking digital currency, in particular crypto, and where it has come from and where it is heading, and how you and I can actually venture into these currencies. Mr. Victor, we've talked more about where now the purpose and what people who came up with this actually were looking at. Now, let's talk about the currency right now. As we cannot avoid the fact that many people have lost money. And the first thing right now, those people who have lost money, the first thing they talk about when they hear someone talking about crypto, those people have, taken a lot of money, people have been cheated, and people feel like they cannot run anymore to cryptocurrency. Is this true? Is it true that actually cryptocurrency is a Ponzi scheme that people just came up with to, make money and cheat some people?
Okay, two things. Okay, one, we have what we call a knowledge gap. Okay, two, the space is not regulated, and that is why me personally, I call for regulation. Okay, so let's take this instance. People lose money in capital markets every single day. Okay, but they are comfortable with that because they think there are laws and rules that regulate these companies. Okay, there are. If you're on the Uganda Securities Exchange, you're sure that Capital Markets Authority is watching the space. If you're on the New York Stock Exchange, you're sure that the Securities Exchange Commission in the US is actually watching this space. So what we are having right now is that there is a yearning for people to actually invest. There is a yearning for companies to come into the space, put in a lot of money, develop blockchain systems, develop all these things. But then there's no regulation. So whenever such a thing now, here's how the consequence is. Now we are having very many Ponzi schemes, okay, on the market. Because now you cannot, because of the knowledge gap, you cannot actually tell between a Ponzi scheme or a crypto or what we call really a crypto exchange platform, or even a blockchain system. Okay, right now, yes, you're going to realize that because of such things, you will not see an advert of a crypto exchange platform. You'll not see an advert of Binance or Bitcoin or anything like that, simply because they are not seen. Okay, they are in a space where they are operating, but then they can't use mainstream media. You're going to find a lot of Twitter spaces on these things. Okay, now the issue is that the effect is that people actually, there is a knowledge gap. People don't understand what is going on. The only way you can, if you use what we call a textualist approach to legal interpretation in as far as regulation is concerned, what the state does not explicitly prohibit, you can do. In this country, there's nothing that prohibits cryptocurrencies. The only things we have are 2 warnings from Bank of Uganda and a few notices, for instance, telling mobile money operators don't convert. Okay, that's all we have. But there's nothing that says you deal in crypto, we're going to arrest you, we're going to. So and that is why now when you look at, you're going to see some other counterparts in the market, those they say, Ponzi schemes, you see offices being shut down, websites being shut down. But then when it comes to this side, now you're not so sure when you're speaking to someone, even if you're speaking about a genuine cryptocurrency space or a blockchain system or anything like that, they're going to say, no, that is Muliva B, you're stealing a lot of money, people have lost money. But then the issue is that there's no regulation, everyone is in the space, so you cannot differentiate between a scam or a genuine system and things like that. Yeah.
So you're basically saying the challenge is with regulation.
Yes.
And do you think, because I think one of the ideas in the first place, what you said is the reason why cryptocurrencies were orchestrated was because they wanted a regulation-free space.
Yeah.
Now, do you, in your opinion, are you saying that actually you need now to regulate crypto?
Okay, so let me use a small legal, legal principle. We all know that there is freedom of contract. You can contract in anything. It doesn't mean that when that contract doesn't come out, you cannot sue someone. Okay, there's freedom of contract, apart from things that are illegal in nature. But there's freedom. You can, if I decide to sell you a phone of mine that I bought at 500,000, and you're going to, and you're willing to buy it at 10 million, you're not going to come later on and say, "I know that was a lot of money," and then you're suing me saying, "I know you cheated me." No, there's freedom to contract. You can pay, I can give. Okay, and now just because you've lost money in that contract, it doesn't mean that it is not valid. Okay, so flip it this other side. Regulation, in as far as this is concerned, we are looking at two things. Okay, and we are looking at what we call consumer protection and probably financial inclusion and any other aspects. Okay, if people every single day are complaining, yes, we are losing money, the answer is, can we have consumer protection laws? Okay. Let's use the centralized system of banking and things like that. When you go to a bank and you deposit, no one is going to tell you don't deposit your money there. Okay? But there's what we call a deposit protection fund. Just in case the bank loans out money, it doesn't come back, the bank invests, loses the money, you can still recover your money through the deposit protection fund. That is one of the consumer protection frameworks. Okay? So, regulation, when we're talking about regulation, we're not saying regulate this space so that you can kill it. No, we are saying regulate it, let it be stable, protected and
the consumers.
Yeah, so that at least there are answers to some questions that are actually asked. Right now, you lose money in crypto, you make a bad bet. There's even what we call freedom to do ridiculous investments. You can wake up one morning. I was watching the day Blue Origin launched its first shuttle to space. The people were betting that shuttle won't come back. It's a very ridiculous investment, but no one said don't invest.
Yeah, people invested.
People invested. Yeah. So I think that is it.
Yeah. So the challenge is not with the regulation, but you need to put maybe some mechanism that can help protect consumers, and also maybe, like you said, educate. Now, concerning education, what do you think people need to know before, for example, buying cryptos? And where do you think they can get more knowledge, advanced knowledge about this? Because still you find, even if you go online, even if you go on YouTube, and you look for someone who is maybe trading in crypto and maybe they're educating, they'll first tell them, first thing, sit down I've taken 3 months just to understand this. So please take your time. What do you think people need to look out for when they are looking for information?
Okay, so me personally, in any sort of investment, in any space that you don't understand, what I usually tell people, if someone came to sell me insurance today, I'll tell them, don't tell me what insurance is, don't tell me what I am going to get out, tell me what are the risks. That is the first point that's the first point. If you bring me an insurance contract, that's what I'm going to look for. Risks. And here's why. Because I want to understand the risks and make a sound investment decision. What we have these days is that even the simple crypto education that is there, everyone is telling people you can make money. You can hit what we call a heat wave of money. You can become a millionaire today. So people are drawn to go there. When they make the first investment and it downs, they come saying, "Oh, geez, they didn't tell us we can lose money. They cheated us," and things like that. So no one is talking about the risks, and that is the problem that we have in investments. Okay, when MTN issued its IPO last December, most people were asking, "How much money will I make in a year or in 10 years?" No one was asking what are the risks in this IPO, and the IPO prospectus had risks at a certain page. It could have been the 100th or the 200th page somewhere,
but it was there.
Risks. Okay, but people don't care about these things. But if you and in this space you don't have information, then you may not make a very sound investment decision. So when it comes to education, there are very many companies that are dealing with crypto education, just like when you go to civil society organizations and policy frameworks and things like that. There are companies that are doing crypto education. I think I know Skill Haven and some of the companies out there. Okay, they're able to provide, tell you, this is the crypto space, this is how you're going to invest. is how much you're going to, you probably begin with this when it's so that you can understand the market, and then later on you can go higher. Okay, now because again because we don't have regulation in this space, because we don't have any policy framework that we're dealing with, everyone is going to say no, we are only caring about investment. We are only caring about for instance, crypto has three the space has three various ways you can use it. We have units of account. You can sell a blockchain system, a crypto system, to a company to use it as a unit of account and auditing. Okay, you can use it as a medium of exchange. It has one of the least charges. Right now, when you're going to spend money using mobile money, you'll pay a charge, but this side there's absolutely no charge. But what everyone is concentrating on, and not those two, it's the other side. It's a store of value. How much am I getting? And I think it's a problem. Yeah.
But all these other, buying, you're able to use it as an asset. You're buying things online. You're able to sell. You call it a blockchain. And so on. Those are also still ways you can.
Those are still ways you can.
There's also mining. I don't know if that's a way.
There's also mining. You can as well sit down.
That's for a few, I think.
And that's for a few. It's like owning a gold mine. That's for the few. But then again, it's also there. And people don't want to look at it. Okay, they want to consider only how much am I putting, how much am I getting out, without considering the risks, without considering anything like that. When money gets lost, then you have panic, and panic in a financial market leads extremely to an economic depression.
Panic selling, So there's also, we've seen that panic sell. For example, Bitcoin falling early June from over 30,000 to 16,000. Right now struggling between 22,000, 21,000. Tell us a little bit about that. What determines the shift in these the value attached to these coins? And yes, you're seeing a Bitcoin is over 21,000, and now you find other coins at $0.0001 US. What really determines that pattern?
Okay, first, the first determinant, the really first determinant in money and value is scarcity. You start from that point, you're going to be good.
Scarcity, yes.
Scarcity. A lot of supply of crypto in the market, the price is going to be low. Less supply, people holding,
demand.
And less supply and less supply and high demand, the price will go up. Okay, so that's the first point. The second point is that in the crypto space we have what we call crypto communities. Okay. The Uganda shilling community is here in Uganda. In the crypto space, we have crypto communities, blockchain communities.
Bitcoin has its own community.
It has its own community. You may be in Uganda, but the moment you are on the Bitcoin blockchain, then you belong to the Bitcoin community. Okay?
Somewhere
in there. So when you have the smaller coins, okay, usually they will have less demand or probably high supply, so that's why their values are so low, because the community is still so small. Now the third one is that we have what we call cryptocurrencies that are the initial mode, the Bitcoin mode, the Bitcoin framework. But then we also have what we call stable coins. Stable coins usually are created in such a way that they are pegged to an unusual life asset. Usually whatever currency, let's say a dollar, a shilling, or usually let's say some gold or something like that. Okay, so there let's say I think Luna was using that same method. One Luna token is equivalent to $1. Now the value of the Luna token at the time was so determinant on the value of the dollar. So those are the three ways. The dollar
goes up, it also goes up.
It also goes up. It goes down, it goes down. Something like that. So those are the three ways. One, you have a bigger community, a smaller community, demand and supply, and as well as stable coins, because we have a lot of stable coins on the market.
Why should we be interested in these coins at the moment? Right now, we are talking about benefits to investors, we are talking about benefits to the community. Why do you think, and by the way, you're very passionate about this, you personally, what do you see when you look at cryptocurrency and the future, that we should actually start getting interested in it right now?
Okay, in 2000, 2008 or right about there, we had mobile money coming in Uganda.
Yes.
No one gave a damn about mobile money. Everyone said, I think even the Bank of Uganda, up until 10 years later, that's when they issued the first guidelines on mobile money. But it was on the market. People were using it. Very efficient. You don't need to go to a bank. You can exchange, you can buy and sell.
Yeah,
you can send money. It was really. So look at it this way. We are now in what we call the Web3 technology. Decentralized everything, from decentralized finance to blockchain systems in units of account, to buying and selling of commodities. People are buying vehicles online, and they're using crypto because it is instantaneous. It doesn't have a lot of safeguards. The charges are some of the least charges you'll find on any market. Okay, so people are prone to people are going to use this space because it has those peculiar values about it. Okay. The reason as to why people didn't care about mobile money back then it was again the knowledge gap. People didn't understand what mobile money is, but right now over 20 million people have subscribed to mobile money, and I think most people actually use mobile money more than they use their bank accounts. Okay, so what is it? I mean, why can't we look at cryptocurrencies the same way we look at the way we are going to look at mobile money? 1.7 trillion market capitalization cap. That's a lot of money, US dollars. That's a lot of money. And you see that the funny thing is that the thing about regulation not being there is that the funny thing is that in this economy, people are using these things. People are selling, people are buying, people are exchanging, people are doing all sorts of things. They're investing, they're doing all these things. But then, because there's no regulation, for youth, you might be there thinking that, it's a thing that is unknown, it is out of the world. But out of like 10 people in some universities, there's someone using crypto. Yeah, and people don't see this, but it's actually there. You'll be shocked if one day they said we are regulating. You'll see how many people will actually say, I'm dealing with crypto. I've been using it. This is how it works. Okay, but right now people are still under there because they think it's not allowed. The state doesn't like it. Things like that. Yeah.
The worry is sometimes people want to feel their money. If you go to maybe your grandmother and you tell them, Mom, I've sent you some money on your phone, until you withdraw that money and she touches it, she will never feel like you've given her anything. Do you think we can get to that point where we feel like we possess the money? Because all I know about, much as when you see the pictures of Bitcoin, it's a coin, a gold coin, but nothing like that really exists. It's an entirely virtual world. Yes? So how can we make it feel like, tangible, even if it's not?
I'll ask one question. What makes a paper note money? What makes it money? Yes, it's quite fascinating. Just the word Bank of Uganda and that silver lining on, and then people saying, this is 1,000. That's what makes it money. Okay. Yes, granted. If you go to the village right now, and let's not even go to the village. I think my own dad. If you talk to him about crypto, he'll tell you, sincerely, I don't understand that. I can't use it. And but then, if you hold one blockchain conference, hold one cryptocurrency meeting, you're going to realize the age bracket. The age is between 20 to probably 40 or 45. And then 50, those are the two curious people, very curious people. This thing is here, let us go there. And now when you go to a country like ours, let's say Bank of Uganda, usually when you're going to pass through the lines to get to Bank of Uganda, probably from these FIs, it's a lifetime of work. So you're probably 60, 55. Those ones, they'll not even listen to you. Those are now of the older generation, the generation of fiat currency, a single paper note. That is what they look at as money. But give it 10 years, give it 20 years. Okay? These guys who are 20 will be 30. The guys who are 30 will be 40. The guys who are 40 will be 50. It will not be something that everyone. Okay? Now the question is, should we wait that long? Or should the government act now, regulate? Or should we at least have some sort of crypto education going on? Could be universities, okay? could be institutions of things like the Uganda, I think, Management Institute, giving some of those courses and things like that. So at least we have a semblance, we are doing something. Otherwise, 10 years, 20 years, finance can kill a government. Okay, you can wake up one morning because you didn't realize this thing is coming. Your electorate is after you because they've lost money. The economy is in shambles because you didn't prepare for this.
The other thing I wanted to ask, the currency is measured in terms of the normal currencies. When you go to look for currency, the value of the Bitcoin, you see it 21,000 US dollars. You still see Binance and all these other coins, they're in US dollars. Isn't that still really defeating the purpose of the currency? I thought that the currency came on board actually to kind of push away these currencies that are regulated. But when I see a Bitcoin is this amount, meaning I still need US dollars to be able to access the coin.
Okay.
Yes.
So let us bring it a bit further in as far as financial levels are concerned. Why should I understand how much a shilling is to a dollar? Because some of our market indicators will determine whether our economy is doing well, depending on how much shillings are worth a dollar.
Yes.
So probably the dollar was designed, especially from the gold standard, it was designed to be a superior currency. And when you come to Africa, given that we are third world countries, and we now also depend on such a system. So when you go to crypto, yes, they are rated in dollars. But if you go to, there are people who I've seen people doing world tours using cryptocurrency. I don't think that person needs to know how much a Bitcoin is to a dollar, as long as he has his Bitcoin in his wallet and he gets to a hotel that accepts Bitcoin as currency. He'll sleep there, wake up the next morning, he gets a cab that allows Bitcoin, he'll pay in Bitcoin, he continues. I don't think that he will think about...
All this is doing online?
Yeah, that is all is online. For example, you'll leave the USA, board a plane, come to Uganda here, there's an Airbnb house, you pay in crypto, probably, I'm just saying probably, and then you go to Jinja for a tour, you're paying using crypto.
You have not touched.
So you've not touched any single money. I don't think that person will really care that Bitcoin is rated using a dollar. Why it is rated using a dollar usually is your first investment. Okay, your first investment, you want to buy crypto, so you'll give for the first time. But I think once you enter the space, the blockchain space, I don't think you will need, because the people who I've seen stories, and at least I've also seen a case in court where someone got a loan in crypto and used an NFT as a mortgage. I usually use that example to show you how ridiculous these things can be. That person did put a house, land, a bicycle, a car, he just put an NFT because the NFT has value. Cryptocurrency is a currency to him. He will use it and he will live. So I don't think he'll care much about fiat currencies in that space.
Oh well, that's very interesting. Can you buy different coins with another coin? Can I buy Bitcoin with Ethereum?
Yes, that is absolutely possible. If you go to most crypto exchanges, any crypto exchange usually they'll allow either conversion to fiat currency or conversion to the different cryptocurrencies. You can buy Ethereum you can exchange Ethereum to Bitcoin, from Bitcoin to XRP, from XRP to any of the crypto currencies. That is possible. And that is why I'm saying I think if someone actually is living in that space, it will be very hard for him to consider a shilling at any one moment. If at all his entire community uses that, he can access food, a standard of living and things like that. He will not need a fiat currency.
One of the things that cause inflation is, for example, scarcity of the dollar. When you look at scarcity of the dollar, the Kenyan shilling is doing way badly. You're seeing Kenyan shillings, like beginning of the year we were over 39. Right now it's at around 30, 29 sometimes. And when you look at the Kenyan shillings against still the US dollar, it's doing extremely badly, from over 112 to over 118 per Kenyan shillings, 118 Kenyan shillings per US dollar, sorry. Do you think when we move into these digital currencies, we shall be solving still some of the problems created by these foreign exchanges, like weakening of the shilling against the dollar, having the dollar as the superior currency. It's a good thing, but still we are seeing that it's affecting especially the developing economies, where you find that when the dollar becomes too scarce, you can no longer buy goods because we don't manufacture cars in Uganda. We need to import cars, and we buy them expensively because of how weak our currency is. Do you think crypto also solves part of that problem?
Yes, I think crypto solves that problem actually almost entirely. When Zimbabwe was facing high inflation, they quickly said we are now using dollars. When Southern Sudan faced the same problem, they quickly went to the dollar because the dollar to them is a bit stable currency, and their dollars, I think they're also using dollars, they were a bit weaker. Okay. What does crypto give you? You see all those issues, the inflation as far as forex exchange is concerned, it is institutional centralized finance, okay? And the USA will forever want to be the god in as far as finance levels are concerned. So if at all your shilling is weaker, it shall forever be weaker. Yeah. Unless for some reason, even if you discover oil in your country, even if you, politically you will not make it there. But now what does crypto give you? Crypto gives you, first of all, it is decentralized finance, okay? Every single person on the blockchain determines how much a Bitcoin is, okay? There is no person on the blockchain of Bitcoin who will come and say, Bitcoin should be this. No, absolutely not. Every single node represented by a computing power, either a smartphone or a tablet or a computer or anything like that. You have a wallet, you determine the decisions in as far as that crypto space is concerned. You are part of those decisions. But here in Uganda, you will wake up and then they'll tell you the shilling is worth this. You don't know anything about it. You don't even know what it means. All they're telling you is the shilling is doing badly. Yeah. That is it. But then the other side, you will be part of that entire decision. In fact, some of the crypto communities, when they want to introduce a token, they carry out a vote. It's a democracy. And if people actually say we are not going to accept that token, that space will not introduce it. And if it doesn't introduce it, then you can see how much power a single person in a crypto community has compared to a centralized system of finance.
Well, thank you very much. Our time is fast spent, ladies and gentlemen. I've been talking to Mr. Victor Tavugahume, a legal scholar, but someone who is really interested and, of course, writes about these different assets like financial technologies, he writes about cryptocurrencies and financial markets. Of course, Victor, you can give your parting shot as we go, and, of course, see you the next time.
Okay, my parting shots are that as a country, I think this country has a lot of potential in as far as cryptocurrencies and the crypto space is concerned. What the government can do for us is that they can either regulate the space so that we can avoid catastrophes that are caused by crypto scams and Ponzi schemes. Because if at all a regulation is coming, then ideally, if it could be principal regulation, it could be product regulation, it could be institutional regulation, whatever form of regulation it is, I do believe it will come with a knowledge filling gap. And once it does, the space will change exponentially. We will not face some of the problems that we are facing today in the market. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for remaining tuned since the beginning of the show. My name is Anthony, and of course, I'll catch you tomorrow, same time, same place. Remember to follow us on Twitter at Smart24TV for all your business content. Next is Fred Makubia with UG Tukole. Stay with us. Have a good day.